So now I can load these notes in the form. What do you suppose this button should do? Make it blank again, right? Let's see if we can do that. Just set the current note back to a blank one, right? So it seems like we could use a method that does that, a method that just sets the current note to blank. I'm going to make a method inside main. And like I said, from now on, I'm just going to use that property assignment syntax for all my methods. So I'm going to make one called blank note that just returns a blank note. So blank note equals an arrow function. And it's just going to return, well, it's going to return this. Just return this object. And then in my constructor, I could set current note to this dot blank note. So another nice benefit of this is if we add more properties to notes later, to each note, I don't have to update the constructor here. I just need to update what blank note does. Otherwise, we'd have to do it in two places because we're going to need this method that clears it out. So we need one that's method now that sets state back to this. So the order of methods doesn't actually matter, but I'm going to put this under set current note. I'm going to make one called reset current note. Assign it an arrow function. It's going to call this dot set current note. And pass it this dot blank note. Make sense? So blank note returns a blank note. Set current note sets the state to whichever note we passed in. So reset current note just calls this dot set current note and passes in the result of this dot blank note. See if we can see if there's any way to test this out in the console. Let's make sure that current note is not a blank note. There it is. Let's look at our React Dev Tools. Let's find main. There it is. And notice $R. Remember how we had $0 when we were inspecting an element? $R gives us the currently selected React component as a variable that we can call in our console. Very handy for troubleshooting. So I can say .r.state, see what the state is, that kind of stuff. $R.reset current note. I expect this to make this blank. It does. So our method works. But we want to call that when we click this button in the sidebar. So what do I do next? I have the method that does the thing. Pass it into sidebar as a prop. Here's sidebar. Poor sidebar doesn't have any props yet. So we'll pass it reset current note. We'll set that equal to this dot reset current note. I don't need to worry about the binding of this because we made it an arrow function. And in sidebar, I'm now going to get props passed in, right? I could be cool and destructure those, though. Reset current note. And then what is it that I want to click on to make that happen? It's this A right here, right? This link. So if I set on click equal reset current note. Let's see what happens. Pick a note, click plus. Well, it did that, right? It did do it. It also refreshed the page. That's because this is a link, ahref, so it's actually going somewhere. But it is doing it. What if we did a little arrow function here that gets an event? Just trying something out. Event.prevent default. Then reset current node. Let's see what this does. Let's get rid of that slash nodes. Click one, click this. Now it clears it out and doesn't reset the page. So what do you suppose is the default action for clicking a link? Following the link, right? So at least for now, we don't actually want it to follow the link. So I just prevent default. Then I call reset current node. We don't want it to refresh the page. Clear the form upon clicking the new note button. Speaking of which, accessibility-wise, yeah, good. Alt new note already there.